Well, hello, it's DJ Chris, Betty, and I almost called you Millicent. Minnie in the house here. It's kind of fun day. We're not going to have any serious topics. It's open mic. It's the 19th of May, 2024. It's 80 degrees here in beautiful California in Lodi. The opinions of those on the call are that of their own and not that of DJ Chris.
You told me to put the earphones on. I did.
And I appreciate your call. We are a peaceful group of book readers and researchers that get together in a group and talk about the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And we're glad you're here. It's open mic. Come on in. What you got to say? Well, I guess not. Well, we'll start the book club then. Here we go. Let's start the book club, and then we'll have open mic. And that, of course, is going to happen now. Here we go.
It's time for the TI Book Club, where every book opens a door to new worlds and shared journeys. Here, we uncover hidden gems, specially selected for TIs, and always within your reach. Be part of a community that reads together, grows together, and sees the world through the same lens. Don't just listen to stories, live them with us. Join now at bookclubs.com/TIBookClub/join, and let's turn the pages of adventure together.
I got a book right here for you to turn pages on. Tonight we're talking about, as you look in the camera, 1996. I got a used copy finally.
Yeah, I got
had writing in it. Oh, Anthony, do you have this book?
Which one? Oh, which book?
1996.
Oh, no, I don't have it. I haven't read it yet.
It's pretty good. I was going to talk about it tonight. It's about Gloria Naylor, who did the Women of Brewster plays. Oprah was all over it. It's a novel, and it's fictional, but it's about her neighbor who has a bunch of cats, and the cats kept going into Gloria's garden in North Carolina in a nice ocean area, and basically her brother was in the NSA, and she got her brain hacked and targeted, and people would drive by and move in next door making pretend sounds and construction noise. And so the book is pretty interesting. It's well worth it. There's used copies available for about $6. There are no Kindle or digital forms that I know of, so you'll have to get this form of it. I don't normally buy books that are hard copy, but I did with this one because it's important to know that an important author like that can write a book about being targeted in an exact way that describes what we go through. So there's no way it's fiction. She fictionalized it basically because she couldn't fill in all the blanks of everything that was going on in the background behind her targeting. But anyway, we're going to listen to a quick recording of Gloria Naylor on NPR. Check it out.
Novelist Gloria Naylor is best known for writing critically acclaimed African-American literature, including the Women of Brewster plays. However, Naylor's latest offering falls into that ambiguous category some call fictionalized memoir. What's more, this somewhat true personal story is centered around Naylor's conspiracy theories about government surveillance and mind control. The book is titled 1996. That's the year it first became apparent to Naylor that she was being spied on.
Since many of these things did happen to the real Gloria Naylor, by using myself as a protagonist, I was able to have the book act partly as a catharsis. Basically, what 1996 is about our loss of privacy in this country. That the government has moved well beyond just the simple following of people and the tapping of their phones. But they now have technology that is able to decode the brain patterns and to detect what people are actually thinking. And they have another technology called microwave hearing, where they can actually input words into your head, bypassing your ears. Now, both of these technologies are documented, and people have patents for part of the process. So what I wanted to do in 1996 was to say to my fellow Americans is that we have to be vigilant about any attacks on our civil liberties, even innocuous attacks, because they can snowball and lead to other things.
Now, we should note the book is centered around an island off of South Carolina where you go to enjoy life there and write and tend to a garden. And then, as the account of the book suggests, your tranquility is ruined.
I realized at one point that I was being followed. And then I began to see the surveillance that was going past the road on my house. And so these cars began to surveil me. People began to follow me around. And it was very disrupting to think that your privacy was being violated, and for no reason that I could come up with. Since I'm not basically a political writer, I'm a fiction writer for the most part. And so I didn't understand it. I knew about COINTELPRO, which is because I'm African American, and in those years the FBI did many shameful things to disrupt black nationalist organizations. But since I was not part of any of that, I thought that I would be immune, basically, from the government having any interest in me.
But let me play devil's advocate, Gloria. There are going to be people who are going to say, just based on what you just said, why would the government follow you? What interest would they have, et cetera, et cetera? Here's a woman who's just simply, underlined, paranoid.
Well, what I can say to them is this. It's the same thing that happens when a child is abused by a trusted adult. Now, that child will go to some parents and tell them these things. They will be believed by some of the parents. Some of the parents will never believe that Uncle George could be doing these things to their little girl. So it's either that you're going to believe me or you're not going to believe me. And I couldn't worry about that. I worried about it a little bit, Ed, to be truthful with you. That people will think, well, she just had a nervous breakdown. But when I really sat and thought about it for a long time, I realized I can't worry about what reception this news is going to be received in. I wrote what I felt I had to write, and I'm willing to put my own sanity and my reputation behind it.
And why you?
I have no idea why me. I think I just ran into the wrong people at the wrong time. And like the book shows, what starts from a very innocent dispute with a neighbor cascades and cascades and cascades into a whole production.
Gloria, let me get your thought when a couple of weeks ago you saw the headline, like most of us did, about the White House and the tapping of American citizens. With this book, you must have not been surprised, but I would think it caused you to sit straight up.
I was surprised that it even came out. And like the New York Times or something, they sat on the story for a whole year. And that's part of why we don't know the truth of many of these black operations that go on. And because of the patriotism of some people in the news media, because of the improbability that you would be believed if you became a whistleblower, all of that lets these abuses flourish. The intelligence community, for the most part, has no accountability at all to Congress, to us, the American people. And so they feel that they are above the law. And every blue moon, something like this Times manifesto will come out, and people will say to themselves, my God, I had no idea that's going on. What I believe is that a lot more than that is going on. This is just the tip of the iceberg that happened to get exposed.
Fiction writer Gloria Naylor, her latest book is titled 1996.
This is Gloria Naylor on NPR. Here's the book right here, 1996. You can find used copies, hard copies only, on Amazon. I paid $6 for this copy. I read it in 2 days. I was a little disappointed in it because I'm not sure she really had all facts or if it was fiction, but her neighbor did harass her, and I know that much is true, and I do believe her, and I do believe they did sound harassment and different other things to her. She eventually moved back to New York.
Is she still being targeted right now?
I think she's dead. I think they killed her, actually. She's not alive anymore.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
She died about 7 years ago of a heart attack. At age
A heart
66.
attack. And she was perfectly healthy and ate out of that garden.
And there was nothing about.
I read her story. She was definitely healthy. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. There was nothing about her targeting left on the internet.
Hey, Chris, did I understand you to say that she wrote the movie Brewster's Place?
Yeah, the book
I'm sorry,
that was based on that. Yeah, the book that Oprah talked about a lot. Yes, this is Gloria Naylor. The Gloria Naylor.
Wow, because that was a wonderful movie, well-written movie.
Yes, and she is the author of this book, and of course, she did all over a bunch of cats that got in her yard. And all she did was complain, and the lady had a fit. There's a Wikipedia mention here in the chat room for you to look at if you'd like to. Anyway, it's open mic if you want to talk about 1996. Here's the book. I got my copy, luckily. We'll be talking about another book next week, of course. So stay tuned. If you have a book that you'd like to recommend, send me a quick message at djchris@targetedwest.com. And again, if you're watching me on your video platform, like, subscribe, and make a comment. Thank you. It's open mic. Come on in.
Is the book about her targeting?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, Liz, there's a targeted person named Elizabeth. She used to do a call for Frank. Do you remember her, Chris?
She's a very good friend of mine. Yes, I know her well.
Okay, so she has a YouTube channel, and she reads that book on the YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to listen to her, if they can't get their hands on a copy, if you find her YouTube channel, you can listen to her read the book.
That's right. I remember she did read the book. That's great. I will check that out. Thank you for that.
Yeah, if you can tell people what that channel is, because I don't remember the name of it, then they can go to it and listen to the book, because it really was a good book. And Gloria Naylor, she wrote it as if it was a fictional account, even though really for her, a lot of what was in there was what actually happened to her.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I believe the story too. I believe it to be true, because why would someone at the top of her game in the literary world all of a sudden write a book like this?
Yeah, I mean, she even kind of, I guess later on said, yes, it was, basically, she wrote it because that is what happened, but she knew it would be more accepted as fiction than if she said, this actually is all that happened. That's what I was
thinking, yeah, that would be more acceptable, yeah. I did that with the book I wrote about my grandmother. I wrote it was fictional, but a lot of things did happen.
I heard that she never wrote another book again, because this thing destroyed her.
Well, she couldn't work. She was making construction noise next door. And then when she'd tell people she'd have dinner with and family members, they hardly believed her.
But later on, later on, she said her nephew was also being targeted. He was a young screenwriter in Hollywood, and he was being targeted the same way.
I didn't know that. Wow. So they don't want talented black people to be successful and have screenplays and books and stuff like that all over a cat in the garden. I know how neighbors get. I know neighbors get petty, and this book is another example of where's Brooke? Don't listen to anybody that tries to tell you it's not your neighbors, because sometimes it is. Not all the time, but it can be your neighbors. Also, you can be double targeted. You could have targeting of V2K and have crappy neighbors on top of it, and they're completely separate from each other. So different layers of it. Because, the world's gone wild, basically. People are out of control, stressed out, and they take it out on everyone around them.
There was a book that was published posthumously in 2000.
Minnie, come in.
Hi, there was a book that Naylor wrote that was published after her death. 2019. I found the
okay. I didn't know that.
You want to hear what the name of it? It's called, hold on. Just a second, I'll get to the, it's called Safira Wade. I can spell it, or I can just I'll put it in the chat. It was published online.
Capronic.
Safira Wade. I'll put it in the chat. It's a funny spelling.
That would be nice, please.
Chris, that exact distraction was on Derek's call last night.
That noise? Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yes, it sounded exactly like that.
Wow, I'm so honored. I've got sound effects from Derek's call now. I'm kidding.
Well, he can tell you who it is. Send him a text, and he can tell you exactly who it is. We know who it is.
Oh, you do?
Yes. She was banned from the call last night, but I'll let him give you the details.
Yeah, a lot of banning going on lately. I've been noticing people have basically lost their minds. And not everybody, just a couple. But
well, it's what the program is designed to make people do, make TIs do. It's sad that they're falling
it could happen at work, it could happen in your home, it could happen with your community, like targeting community. Yeah, exactly. It's distract, disrupt, deny, break down the group.
Absolutely.
And the only agency or bureau that I know that does that is the FBI.
No, it's not the FBI.
Well, in some cases it could be. In my case, I don't think it is, but I think the DOJ is involved in my targeting for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I believe that as well. Can you give me the spelling of her last name, please?
It's Naylor, Naylor. Check that out. Go to check her work out. So we're talking about the book 1996 by Gloria Naylor. It's a TI book club, and you can join for free if you like.
Found some quotations by Gloria Naylor.
Thank you. Would you like to talk about them?
Yeah, I'll read one of them. I thought was interesting. That's what the Depression kind of showed, that hard work guaranteed you nothing. Here's another one. When I think of the American dream, that's what I think of: something that is manufactured, something that is ethereal, something that's not quite there yet. And here's another one. There's no way you can say that realism is the only literature going. I mean, most of our best novelists are not even writing realism, like writers like Toni Morrison, Leslie Silko. They are using realistic techniques to tell stories that are not realistic.
What age was her passing?
She was a critic too.
Does anyone know the age of her passing?
Yes, she was 66 years old. She was born in 1950.
Thank you.
And she died in 2016. She had a heart attack while she was in St. Croix. Here, I think there's something very special about women writers, black women writers in America, and those that I know of in any real sense in Africa. Bessie Head, for example, in Africa, or Gloria Naylor here. This is talking about herself. There's a gaze that women writers seem to have that is quite fascinating to me. I guess it's somebody talking about her. Okay, they're referring to her in this somebody else's quotation. There's a gaze that women writers seem to have that is quite fascinating to me because they tend not to be interested in confrontations with white men. The confrontation between black women and white men is not very important. It doesn't center the text. There are more important ones for them, and their look, their gaze of the text is unblinking and wide and very steady. It's not narrow. It's very probing, and it does not flinch. And it does have these funny little axes to grind. There's something really marvelous about that. Interesting. Here.
Yes, yes, it is.
One more and I'll stop. If you can just first maintain your own humanity, reify your own personal worth, you then flow into the system as an entity.
Do you think she made these quotes after she was targeted? Because it sure sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it to me, too.
I don't know. They don't really give the... this was an interview with PBS in 2000. A lot of these quotes are from. Yeah, so you're right. It probably was after she had written the book, so she was not... she was not happy then. She was not happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, she would drive in her little red truck up to get all the dirt and the flowers, and she grew the best vegetables, and then it just got to be too much to live there, and she had to move back to New York. So unfortunately, it's just a terrible way to have to leave your beautiful area that you spend money on fixing a house up and making it yours. Just have someone harass you over the neighbor harass you, and they're the ones at fault. My neighbor used to call my house every night when I go to bed. I'd turn the lights out in the living room where his house was, and we'd go to the bedroom, we'd turn the light on, and the phone would ring.
You want me in here?
Yeah.
I know all about crazy neighbors.
I just want to say for the record, she also said she was gang stalked heavily, even when she traveled, like on the airplane.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
That is terrible.
Come on, baby.
Hey, that website you can listen to the audiobook on is TIVILLE, TIVille, on the YouTube channel. That's the website.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's my friend Liz.
Yep, so she posted it, and if you go to her site, you can listen to the audio. She reads it.
And again, if you missed earlier, we're talking about the book 1996 by Gloria Naylor.
Hi, DJ Chris. This is Brooke.
Hello, Brooke. I was just talking about you when I just said about Gloria Naylor's neighbors.
I know. Thank you. I have a coincidence here with Gloria Naylor. I produced, along with Donna Deach, a film called Desert Heart in 1985. I was co-producer on that film. It was released by Samuel Goldwyn. And Donna Deach directed The Women of Brewster Place. I am being stalked currently by two psychopathic neighbors, Don Dawkins, former head of Dawkins Heavy Metal, and his female prostitute, Jennifer Schwellenberg. So that's the coincidence. Donna and I worked together in the 80s in the movie business, She ended up directing Naylor's Women of Brewster Place, and I'm being stalked and targeted, trafficked, and my human rights fully violated by my former psychopathic neighbors, Dawn Dawkins and Jennifer Schwellenberg.
And they followed you.
Yeah.
Can't get away. I know it's weird how it works, and they've got friends and associates in that program that help them.
Yes, correct. Exactly.
My telepathy claims they're the Illuminati. That's how they address themselves. And I know the Illuminati's involved with Hollywood and music and all that, but what is really the Illuminati?
That's funny because mine just said it was the mafia.
They say that too with me, the mafia, or I call them organized crime or the syndicate. Yeah, I think it's mafia because the U.S. was involved with the mafia back in World War II. They actually got them involved with governance. During that event when the boats were being blown up in the New York harbor, and I think it was some Russian or some spies were blowing them up, and the mafia took care of it.
They were German, and it was during a strike, the dock workers strike, and FDR broke up the strike by using the mob.
Yeah, and they've been using the mafia with us ever since.
I mean, if you look back on it, all big business always had their own security, and starting with the railroads, they all had their own private security, and that's how this all starts.
So if you're listening to us on your favorite platform or listening on Spotify, click a like, make a comment, come on the show. Just because you're listening doesn't mean you can't join the call and listen in live and make a comment. I read the chat room all the time and make sure everybody's represented. So come on by and join our call sometime. You can join at TargetedWest.com and click on conference call link. So thank you for watching our show in the future or coming live. But anyway, it's open mic. Come on in, everybody.
Chris, it would be great if we could find out or maybe reach out to or maybe somehow connect with her nephew to see how he's doing, and does he even realize that he's a targeted individual? Did he believe that he was? I'm sure she tried to warn him or tell him, or maybe not.
That's a good question, and I don't know how we would find him. Does he have the same last name?
I don't know. Probably could Google. Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Well, if I were related to Gloria Naylor, I would put a blurb in my LinkedIn so I can find him. Don't worry.
Maybe we could do Gloria Naylor's nephew, targeted individual nephew, and see what populates.
I think I was muted. Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Come on in. Wouldn't that be great to have him on? That would be really incredible.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. But I bet if we Google it, we can find it somehow. Maybe he has his own YouTube channel. Who knows?
That's true.
Since she said he was a screenwriter, that may be another way to search him on the web. Gloria Naylor's screenwriter nephew or something. I'm going to try these keywords.
Let me know how it works.
Will do.
Hey, Chris, you know there's a Screenwriters Guild, right? You could probably find up through that. It's like
I was just thinking something like that, yeah.
They're right there in LA.
Oh, that's a great
yeah,
idea.
in LA, you could call them or email them. I could.
Great idea. Good idea, Anthony.
Oh, and I could say I want to get a hold of them for a project, and they'll refer me. Because, everybody's going to call. Everybody's eager to get a call, right?
I just joined. Who are you talking about?
We're going to get a hold of Gloria Naylor's nephew.
Who's that?
That's a book we reviewed, 1996 by Gloria Naylor. It was a book about her targeting, and we just wrapped it up. Matter of fact, I have to play a commercial right now. Is this Steve?
Yeah, I just joined, so I didn't hear who you were talking.
No worries. Yeah, we were just doing a book review. But anyway, we did target. Oh, we need to do a radio. We just need to plug my book. It's funny that Steve's here, and here's the book he edited.
Are you an adventure seeker or mystery solver? Well, your hunt is on. DJ Chris's targeted individual fiction series beckons. Journey through The Hills Have Ears, outwit danger in The Dark Cove, and expose secrets at The Faux Farm. Each book honors the spirit of its author's grandmother, the fearless Ida Pearl. Get ready for a series that's as enigmatic as it is thrilling. Will you unravel the legacy woven into these tales of suspense? Race to Amazon, Lulu, and Barnes & Noble to claim your copies. Dive into the intrigue one book at a time, or seize the complete targeted fictional trilogy set, now available at Audible for the full exhilarating experience. The clock's ticking, and Ida Pearl's adventures won't wait. Order now and be part of the legend.
Yeah. It's open mic. Come on in. What's going on, Steve?
I just moved out.
You moved out? From where? From your place?
So, why? One thing that I have to hide from certain people, and I've been able to get off the radar of gang stalkers for a couple of years. I go through Craigslist sublets and temporary section. Now, you're going to get a lot of people who claim to be out of state, and they're all scams, right? Not all of them are, but I mean, you're going to get a lot of scams that say, hey, I took a job someplace else, because they don't use the I'm on a mission in Africa one anymore. And I'll mail you the keys. So, but if you can find a real person in there, then you're not signing something, you're not necessarily doing a credit check, you're signing with an individual, and you could hide behind somebody else's Wi-Fi. So somebody else has the cable account with the router. And so then I can turn off all my stuff. I can turn off all my SIM devices at night and sit there. So I managed to find 3 over the past year that I used it for until they caught up to me in this one place. 2 places, but this last place, they didn't really catch up to me. It was just the neighbors.
Yeah. Well, don't give us the location where you're going to, but I'm glad you've got something going.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm in hotels now, but I mean, I was saving up for an RV, so I'm trying to get some funds cleared away. It's going to take another week or 2.
Yeah, an RV's
and then we'll
the way
look
to
for that
go,
stuff
for sure. You just turn on the engine and you drive away if it's a motorhome or van.
That's what I need.
You don't like your neighbors? Hey. You don't have to call the realtor or the landlord. Yes, hello, come on in.
Hey, Steve, this is Lynn. I didn't hear the reason why you had to move out. What happened?
Oh, nothing happened. I just keep moving.
Oh, okay.
this guy, I rented a place off a guy who is going, his girlfriend's in Canada, and his stepmom, his dad needs help with his stepmom. They're trying to put her into a home. So he gave me a place in April for 4 weeks, and then he gave me I took a week out, and then he gave me a place from the 1st through the 19th. And then he came back because he rented it out on Airbnb to some chick. He's going to be there in June, and then he might have to go back in July. But I just keep moving around that way. The specific neighbors can't collect more data on me. They only collected the amount of data that, you know, they hear from these phone calls or they get from hacking my internet usage. But how you been, Lynn?
I'm hanging in here. I have a question. Would that work for someone who's not off the radar? I mean, I know you've been off the radar for a minute, so to speak, but would that work for someone who's not off the radar if you're subletting?
Yeah, I would highly sublet because then the paperwork.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you.
I would highly suggest subletting because then the paperwork is one step behind, one layer underneath. You know what I mean? And if you have all the accounts, if you're behind somebody's cable router, then it's not yours that they can't track. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, but in my situation, I'm gang stalked. They follow me wherever I go. The moment I start up my vehicle, I'm being followed.
Yeah, it's because they're tracking your vehicles, and so they have 6 vehicles, and that's why I kept switching up. Every year I'd get a different vehicle, but I scaled down to like $2,000-$3,000 vehicles. I wasn't investing into, like, I bought this Cadillac, and I put about 20 into it for a year, and then I just got rid of it because I didn't understand the technology. I thought they were breaking into the car and putting something in it to be able for me to hear them and to be able to be tracking me, but the technology is advanced that these people could just like track you from satellite and shoot voices into the car itself to out like a 1980s view of, oh my God, there's a mic in the car. Oh my God, there's a speaker in the car. Oh my God, there's a camera in the car. It's
I don't know if you know this or not, but my dream car that I'm planning on getting is a 79 Cadillac Seville.
Well, hey man, that's cool.
I've always wanted one since I was a kid.
There was just a guy on Sherry's call who is a whistleblower for a car manufacturer, and he whistleblowed on the company because they were putting chips in these vehicles that can even detect our heart rate, knows where we are, knows where we've been, how frequent we've gone somewhere, et cetera, et cetera. And he's now a TI, but also a whistleblower. And so he said the best type of vehicle to purchase is one without all the computer software, as we probably already know. But that's going to be my situation. It's not just that they're tracking my vehicle speed. I've got people here babysitting me. They sit for 2 and 3 hours, and then they take shifts. They take turns because they park at the same location. And so the moment I leave, they're already telling whoever's down the street at the gas station she's on the go.
Yeah, so
then I'm followed by the very vehicle that's waiting for me when there's nobody in the coming down the street that they can't come on out and get on the street. They're waiting for me to pass so they can get behind me. So
that's why Carl's would have been good for you, because he's back off the road and there's nowhere for them to sit.
They follow me, and I don't even be in my car. I might be in somebody else's car. So I don't understand.
I think it's because of the chip in our brain that Richard Lighthouse talked about. I think it's because we're all chipped. They're following the chip. That's how you can be in a Walmart store, and out of all those thousands of people in there, you're the only one getting hit.
Yeah, it's because you have a cell phone number.
No. I leave my cell phone at home. And
No. The way that they've hacked the brain is to explain it in an analogy. It's like they have your cell phone number to your brain.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean?
That's not what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
it's like they made cell phones out of us. That's what they've done.
Yeah. So they could track you anywhere. I'm talking about like what you guys are saying, like the street team, the gang stalking street team. I've been off their radar because I switch states. I keep moving and I switch states. But you got to have money to do that.
So without taking up too much time, because I know other people want to talk, I did that, Steve. I got away for 3 months, and I felt absolutely nothing. But when they caught up to me, they have never, ever let me out of their sight, ever.
Yeah, but you went back to Texas.
No, this happened in Texas.
No, but when I talked to you, you were coming back from Arkansas, and what I'm telling you is
this happened way before then.
But you went back to Texas and you've stayed in Texas.
No. So I moved out of Irving, Texas. I went to Mansfield, Texas, which is about, 40 miles away. For 3 months, I felt nothing. I'm still in the Dallas area. Dan, from Irving to Mansfield, you're still in the DFW area. And for 3 months, I felt nothing. It wasn't until my contractor left the home I was selling because he was resurfacing the tub as part of the contract deal with the new owner. He called me and he said, I'm on my way. Well, where he called me from was the very place I left because I was being so heavily targeted by the neighbor who I believe put me on this list. And when he left that day to come to me, he said, I'm on my way to you now. When he came to me, I think they followed him because the targeting started again, the torturing started that very night. When 3 months, I felt nothing.
Have you got the copper cone off of Deb?
Have I gotten the what?
The copper cone. Did you get my text?
Just now?
No, like a week ago. I found your number in my call list that I texted, like a 214 number.
Yeah, no, I have not gotten a text from you.
All right. Well,
Did
hey,
you
if you still
resend
got, well, hold on. If you still got my 904 number, then you text me.
Okay.
Because I don't have you saved, and I'm guessing. Going through a call list because I don't save anybody because I don't want them to know who the people's names are.
I know. Let me figure this out.
If you got my 904 number, text me.
Yeah, I don't think I still have your number.
All right. I can put it in the chat. Oh, you don't do chat because you call in.
I can. I can log on and do the chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. It's a VoIP number, so anybody can text me. You're never gonna be able to call. You'll never get a hold of me. It's through a web browser, so they can't hack me. I highly advise.
Chris, do you give out your number to callers?
No, but I got his email. If you email,
if you email me or whatever, we can.
If you email TargetedWest, like through his website, TargetedWest, you could email him your number, and he'll send it to me because me and Chris email each other.
I was trying to look for a now solution because remember I don't have internet on my phone, so it's okay. I'm going to log on real quick from my hotspot. It's no problem. It'll just take a few moments. Once I'm logged on, I'll chat it.
Oh, you don't have to do it now. You can do it tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Do it. Hey, man, follow the rules. Don't do it in the place that you're sleeping. Do it in the daytime when you're out of the place that you're sleeping, where you're safe, where they can't hack you. And do your email then. Do your email then.
The email. Thank you. I got you. I'll do the email.
No,
okay.
I only email. Like I was supposed to call in TI tonight. I just ran late, and I'll call her tomorrow. You know?
Okay, I got you. I'll do the email.
You got to follow
Thanks,
the rules, man.
Thanks,
Because
Chris.
if you're in your hotel and you check your email, then they can track you. Do you see
No,
what I mean?
I'm not in a hotel. I'm in a house.
Yeah, but regardless, what I'm saying is, as long as even if you're in a house, I would do all my business outside of that location.
Outside. I got you.
You know what I
And
mean?
you don't think our vehicles are picking that up with there being some type of device in the vehicle?
No, because you go into a Starbucks, or you go into a coffee house, or you go into a restaurant. You sit there for hours. You do all your daily communications before sunset, and then you go back to that house that you're at.
Okay.
That way, you follow these rules. You follow these rules, and then I follow these rules religiously, and it's getting me to be safer. Everything's safe.
Okay.
You're saying going to a hotspot? That's the worst place. That's how they pick up people. Hotspots, Bluetooth.
Yeah, dude, I got my own hotspot. I'm not using a public.
But
I'm not using a public thing. I have my own internet.
yeah, but
They are
they
tracking you through your brain frequency. That's how they're tracking you, and you can't stop that. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I know, man.
You can go wherever you want.
I'm talking about the street teams.
I don't know.
I'm talking about the street teams. You guys get hit with dues. I'm not. I'm in a different program.
You guys are lucky because they sit outside and watch me.
All the same program.
Dana, I think we're on the same
There's three different programs.
Yeah.
There's three different programs.
Agree there. I'd give anything to get off this dude thing, getting hit with, microwave, ultrasound, infrared, just high powered, 20, and then there's not 1 second I don't get hit with a weapon. Not 1 second out of the day.
All right, so have you contacted Deb Kay and Mike Parsons to get the copper cone?
Proper what?
I told you about this. You're Brian, right? 941 Sarasota? Yeah. We had this conversation about 3 nights ago.
Are you talking about the cone
you were saying? You were saying
Yeah.
copper cone. Okay, yeah. Steve, I've already talked with her, and I'm going to mute. But I've spoken with her. Thank you.
Are you getting? Hold on. Are you getting it?
I'm going to get it. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's all I want to hear you say.
Okay.
Michael knows about it. He's got a call right now.
Yeah.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
He knows about it.
She's on the call. That girl, the lady that just spoke, got one. Didn't you get one? Aren't you D Black Sheep?
No, that's not me talking. That was somebody else asking.
Oh. No, you.
You talking about Michael Parsons?
Yeah. What's your name?
Okay. I'm Brian, but
no. I'm talking to the lady.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh, you talking about me?
You.
Yeah, this is Black Sheep, but I haven't got one.
Yeah. I know your voice, man. I know your voice.
I know yours too. I know yours too.
You know what? I know about 100 people on these calls. I know all you.
I'm with Michael, and I just can't right now because they try to keep me broke. And since I had that car accident, I have no transportation to work.
Well, the reason I lost their interest, that we're in an election year because the people who are following me are tied in with politics, but we're in an election year, so I've lost their interest. But I had to go into the hospital to lose them. They took my shoulder. You know what I mean? So I mean, like it was a heavy price, but I've gotten off the radar because they damaged me.
But see, you're so lucky because when I went to the ER, they put an air tag in there.
You what?
When I went to the ER, they put an air tag in there.
Well, I've had operations. They probably got me full of a whole bunch of stuff, dude. But what I'm saying is the uppity ups, the people in the higher ups, the ones that had interest in me, they don't have interest in me anymore.
Oh, okay.
They were running this Neo. You ever seen The Matrix, D Black Sheep?
It's been a while since I watched it.
You got the idea, Jesus, the prophecy, right? Like there's some savior that's going to come and save us all. That's all the Matrix was, right? So they ran this Neo script on me. And I was talking to a guy from Nebraska this week, and he said they ran the same shit on him. They tried to convince him that he's a really very important person. They kept talking to me like I had superpowers, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm a fucking pothead. I mean, I'm sober now, but you know what I mean? Like,
I don't have
did you do your research?
So I don't understand it.
You got what?
I don't have voice to skull, so I don't understand that.
Well, it's just like a conversation like we're having. You and me are having, right?
Right.
But I'm going to convince you right now that you're Wonder Woman and that you have superpowers. And this is the shit they told me. One of you is born only one of you is born every 2,000 years, and you have the power to save us. This is the bullshit they were telling me.
Well, I don't know, because somebody else told me that as well. I mean, not like a voice to skull, a person.
What did they tell you?
That I have to, like, study certain verses in the Bible because I'm responsible for saving my friends and family. I'm like, wait a minute, is this, person for real?
Well, there's certain Psalms that you should study for protection. Like, since this happened to me, Psalm 91, Psalm 31, and then you could just go on the YouTube and just listen to the Bible every night if you're Bible oriented. That's what I do, because they scare the shit out of me. I'm sober and I listen to that every night. And what it
31
does,
and 91.
Yeah, you're drawing the Spirit of God into the room, even if you're not listening to the words, but it's playing through YouTube. It's going into your ears, and you're just laying there, right? You're drawing the Spirit of God into the room. And the more that you connect with that, regardless, it's so simple. It's like the radio. The more you connect with that, the more you bring that into your life, I'm telling you, dude, your life will change.
It's true. That's true what he's saying. And I'll tell you something. Can I break in here a second?
Go ahead, dude.
I used to date somebody right when my Voice to Skull was starting, and he told me he said read out of the Bible out loud when this happens to you, because they hate that. And I started doing that. I started reading out of the Bible out loud, and my Voice to Skull started going, "Stop reading out loud, you sound retarded." They hate it. They hate anything that deals with religion, or put verses on like he's saying, or religious music like gospel music. They hate that.
And you know what?
Tell them you love them. Tell them you love them, and tell them that God loves you. And they'll freak out.
They literally told me, "Stop reading out loud out of the Bible. You sound retarded," and they hate that.
And I don't have Voice to Skull, but I think I have cameras in the house. People watching me, because I got when I found out that I had the cameras in my eyes, I got in the shower and started closing my eyes because I heard somebody say they closed their eyes. Do you know, like a minute later, I got a phone call and I didn't answer it. And so they left a voicemail saying, "I can see you in the shower." And I don't know what else they said because they were speaking in Chaldean or Arabic.
Oh, really? Okay.
You had a stalker speaking Arabic to you?
Well, I live. I live in Michigan, so we have a lot of Chaldeans and Arabics here. I live in a community where there's Arabic, Indian, it's mixed, Asian. Most of my neighbors are Arabic. I mean Chaldean. I'm sorry. You know what Chaldean is, right?
No, but now that you keep saying it, I see the word from the Bible. Chaldean. I never knew it was pronounced that way.
Yes. They're religious, but they're not Muslim. They're Catholic.
So when you heard somebody say she closed her eyes, that's V2K.
No, I didn't hear it. It was my phone was ringing. They left a voicemail. I looked at the voicemail.
No, there were two things in your story. You said you heard him say she closed her eyes, and then the phone rang.
No, I said I closed my eyes, and the phone rang. And I didn't answer it. I picked it up.
Too.
They left a message.
I heard
you see what I'm saying?
I might have said it backwards.
I was going to say, girl, you got V2K.
No, I don't have V2K. The phone was ringing. They left a voicemail. And I might have said it backwards. I closed my eyes. They left a voicemail because I picked up my phone while I was in the shower. And, I can read my voicemail. It's one of those kind. And they said, not they said, but that's what they said in the text. I mean, the voicemail message.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
So, Lynn, here's another thing you could do. When I left states, I would go to the train station and buy it in cash, buy the ticket in cash, and then not check in with the TSA, like not have them check my bags, and then just get on the train. And then I didn't hear the stuff on the way up that I heard on the way down when I went to Florida last year. So that was a thing. And then it's rare that they'll catch up to me in this town. I'm in the DMV again. But it's rare that they catch up to me in this town as far as shoot voices through the ceiling of like a restaurant or a restaurant bathroom, or I'll be walking down the street.
I think you're on a different program.
No,
because
there are
I
three
cannot
programs.
leave without them knowing where I go. And I think the only reason I got away for those 3 months and I found nothing is because it was the beginning stages of my brain mapping, and they didn't complete it before I moved out.
That makes sense.
But they never have let me out of their sight since that time, and I think it's because they realized they slipped up. I got away, and they're not going to let me get away again.
Are you renting a place?
I'm renting a room in a house.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean,
I'm the same. This is Chris from Idaho, and I'm
Idaho. Come on in.
I'm 100% stock 24/7. It doesn't matter what state, where I go to, fly, drive, walk, go into any room of my house. They bugged my car because when it goes into a different cell phone connection, different area, you can hear it go pong, pong, makes this really weird noise. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And I can't move. I cannot absolutely make one step, and I have people all over me every day. Even when I wake up, my eyes, if they just open, and I sleep on the couch, If
So
I
delicious.
even barely open my eyes, somebody's driving by my house. That's
Gotcha. I need to end the recording. Thank you for watching your favorite platform. We'll be back next week. If you'd like to hear more, come to our call live. Thank you. The recording is ending.